Typhoon Yagi, a very powerful Category 4 approaching China on tonight's Tropical Weather Bulletin. Tropical Weather Bulletin for September 5th. On the map of world tropics, we have two storms currently active. Typhoon Yagi, now a super typhoon, with winds of 155 miles per hour and a pressure of 920 millibars by our analysis, and Tropical Depression 13W with winds of 35 miles per hour and a pressure of 1,004 millibars. Here is the Western Pacific. We have Yagi there. It's expected to become a Category 5 tonight and make landfall in China. Borderline Category 5. We are currently expecting a 160 mile per hour landfall. Tropical Depression 13 is not expected to hit anything. And Invest 94W with a 40% chance of formation. Here is the Atlantic with no less than 4 areas of interest active right now. 2 with a 30%, the central one the highest at a 40%, and the far east one with a 20%. On this day in 1995, Hurricane Lewis was passing through the Leeward Islands as a Category 4 with winds of 140 miles per hour and a pressure of 939 millibars. It caused a lot of damage and fatalities on those islands, upwards of around $400 million. Hurricane Henriette was peaking as a Category 2, and Tropical Storm Nina was not far from where Yagi currently is, and would make landfall on China on September 7th. Here are the names. The next name in the Atlantic is Francine, followed by Gordon. In the Eastern Pacific is Ileana, followed by John. And in the Central Pacific is Iona, followed by Kelly. In the Western Pacific, the next name is Leapy, followed by Babenka. And in the North Indian Ocean, the next name is Dana, followed by Fingal. Here is Yagi on the satellite imagery. Just scraping Category 5 intensity currently, likely to reach it overnight. But in the past 6 hours, you can see just how much the eye has developed, and really just the overall structure of the storm has really defined itself. The storm looks very, very good on satellite imagery. I think that much doesn't need to be said. It's Category 4. Of course, it's going to look good on satellite imagery. This is undeniably at this point, I think, going to reach Category 5 intensity. But this is absolute worst case scenario for China unless this just drops and dissipates before it makes landfall, but that's not going to happen. Here we are on the GFS. You can see Yagi right there. Let's hit play. Striking all the way at 932 millibars, even though it is definitely stronger than that. And making landfall in China near peak and dissipating. Another typhoon, 3 storms there active. That's another strong typhoon there. Looks like a Category 3. Okay, that's a Category 4. That's down to the 920s, 929. That's a Category 4, and then hitting the same area as Yagi. And then another typhoon there that looks like that reaches Category 3 status. Another typhoon in the South China Sea that looks like that reaches Category 1, pushing Category 2 status. So that particular area of China is not going to have fun. They got Yagi and then what looks like at least a Category 2 typhoon. Here's the Atlantic. I'm just going to skip forward, see if we got anything. We do! Right there, that looks like that reaches hurricane status, a strong hurricane. That's a Category 3 there, 949 millibars. Category 3, maybe a Category 4, depending on the storm, but strong hurricane, at least a Category 3 there. That looks like maybe the only active storm. Let's check the Eastern Pacific, because they always have something in the Eastern Pacific. Yep, what did I say? That's a tropical cyclone right there. Brief tropical storm there, peaking at 996 millibars and riding up the coast of Mexico. Kind of similar to Pauline, but much further, I guess. But that looks like that's about it for the Eastern Pacific. So let's go ahead and move on to the satellite imagery. Alright. So here is Yagi on the satellite imagery. Terrifying, yes. Cloud tops have been taking a little bit of a dip in the eye wall, but they were around minus 90 earlier today. Now they're about minus 80. But the overall structure of the storm has just gone up so much, and it looks so good now. this is likely to reach Category 5 intensity. Not even likely, it's basically guaranteed to reach Category 5 intensity at this point. I don't know why the JWC and JMA haven't gone with that. That was fairly obvious when it was upgraded to a Category 4 earlier today. It was only, I believe it was only a Category. It was only a Category 2 this morning, just to show you how fast these storms can intensify. It's been less than 24 hours, and it's gone from a Category 2 to probably going to reach Category 5 status by midnight. So probably a Category 2 to a Category 5 in less than 24 hours. And this time, last night, it was barely a Category 1. So that's nice. Climate change. But it's approaching Hainan with some venom, certainly. Very strong typhoon that is likely to cause severe impacts. Tropical Depression 13 here. It's blowing up a little bit of convection, but not a ton. It looks like it's well on its way out. It might briefly reach tropical storm status. Hint: briefly reach tropical storm status and be named Leapy, but that's unlikely at this point. But anyway, this is the main feature. I feel like that's pretty obvious. It's almost a Category 5. But that's it for tonight's Tropical Weather Bulletin. We will almost certainly be back again tomorrow, because tomorrow night is probably going to be a Category 5. But we'll, we'll be back again probably tomorrow night. We'll probably have a short update before the day's actually over. But like, subscribe,